Oh, that feeling when you realize there's only like 10 minutes left in the episode.
I know. Don't remind me. Don't end.
What a glorious day, Reject Nation. It is time for Loki. Season dose could not be more excited. I rewatched season 1 over the past couple weeks. I think it climbed to the top, actually. I was like, you know what? I think this beats WandaVision for me. Coy, my friend, he literally just shot a very long podcast interview with Yuri Lowenthal, who plays Spider-Man, mocap, and is the voice. We got to start working on the edit for that. It's a great, great interview. It's going to launch on this channel, hopefully within the next week and a half or so. Keep a lookout for that. And John, he helped set up the audio. Hell yeah, for John.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Well, you know what to do. Leave a like. Leave a glorious like on this video. Also subscribe and click the notification bell because you know we're going to be covering all of Loki. And yes, full-length reaction watch along re-sync with your own copy available for Super Sex Rejects at our Patreon page. But because this is the first episode of season 2, it is available for the public for free. Just link in the description box. Lastly, massive, massive thank you to all who have been supporting the channel by getting yourself some Reject apparel at rejectnationshop.com. Wearing the Citizen Kang shirt, one of the first shirts we ever created. We just launched this shirt. Snip, snip from Ahsoka. We got this Child Protection Services shirt. We got this Space Baby shirt. We got this shirt. We got that shirt. We got that shirt. We got a whole bunch. And September was actually our most successful month ever. So thank you guys for helping us have a grand month. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. The reaction's going to start now. That's how we go. All right, let's do it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Man, the wait is over. Oh my goodness.
Pazuzu.
Oh man.
I got chills already.
I'm so jacked right now.
What is going on? Mobius, it's me. I don't know you.
Yes, you do.
Come on.
Whoa! Attack of the Clones!
Whoa. Whoa. He's
We're
not
actually
like that.
going to the Citadel, the TVA this time.
Casey. Oh! Don't you harm Casey.
Great shot. Wow.
Those meditation minutes in. Waiting for the screen to fall.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Warning.
A lot of people are going to die from that truck.
Yeah, is the driver fine?
Well,
Should be fine.
There we go.
No.
The organization is cracked.
Casey, help me. Please tell me you know what's going on. Do you remember me?
There's some deja vu to it.
I got him. I got the intruder.
oh,
Damn it. Whoa.
Oh, interesting. Displaced us in a different time or setting?
I think it'd be a different time in the same setting.
Something terrible is happening. I'm being pulled from...
It is the same room, same time.
I was in the past.
Oh.
Where's Mobius?
Probably in Chrono Bay 3. So,
No.
Loki?
I'm not used to it being so handheld in,
Yeah.
by shooting the TVA.
Handheld in these kind of longish takes. I haven't felt this level of like
Pure
excited
excitement.
anticipation for Marvel in a minute, even as the guy who's cool with Phase 4.
We tell the people of the TVA the truth about this place.
And you think people are going to be ready to hear that?
Gotta hear the truth, man.
They should have the chance to live those lives.
Think about it. Everything you've been doing is wrong, and all your gods are dead. Loki's here?
He disappeared right in front of me. He looked like he was in pain.
Maybe Miss Minutes can locate him.
Do not rely on Miss Minutes.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Jet skis, sea-doos, one of these calling your name, Mobius?
Maybe gently whispering.
Oh, it's Colin, baby.
Everyone thinks that it's a personal watercraft, and it's actually a brand, same way Kleenex is.
Mobius?
I don't think he really cares.
I don't care.
I care.
General Dox and Judge Gamble would like to see you both in the war room. Wonder what that's about.
I'm so glad Raphael Castell's part of the Marvel Universe.
What a menacing, dreadful start. Whoa.
Jeez, man.
Well, this is like a 70s horror shot right here.
Yeah.
Where is he?
And he's just still pushing through, man.
Poor Casey. This has just been the weirdest day.
So we're answering to the judge's council now?
There is like a weird 70s horror way of shooting this.
Wow.
Mobius, I was just doing my job.
It's actually Renslayer who really owes me the apology.
Well,
God.
those effects are disturbing.
Yeah. This whole thing is eerie. Jeez, man. Oh.
Awesome match cut.
Oh, it's her from The Witcher.
You put out an order to stop pruning.
Into the microphone, Hunter. We are doing this by the book and on the record.
And she's from Game of Thrones.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
This should have been the next appearance of Kang. This is like exactly
this
what I
is
wanted.
so sinister.
Yeah. I like ants.
You are quite a marvel.
Marvel.
You made a difference in this war. Thank you for being on my team.
It's spooky.
For us. For all
time.
Always.
It's Ravonna.
Yeah.
I will be proud to lead with you.
Oh, that must be what Miss Minutes gave her
Oh, right.
at the end of the last episode.
The sky hasn't fallen.
What sky are you looking at? Are you seeing this? Robot head on the table? Changes everything.
This changes nothing.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, Hunter. If we don't protect it,
My man.
We haven't been protecting. We've been destroying.
Yeah.
We have to take a moment to understand
we don't
what's
have
happening.
a moment.
You've made your position clear.
We don't have time for protocol now.
Succumbing to the political dogma.
It was a good debate.
Such great craftsmanship to the symmetry and editing.
Justin here killing this.
We can't go back to pruning those branches.
I can do anything.
She's a rogue variant.
Mutant confirmed.
Someone's going to say it.
Tell the TVA to stop pruning, effective immediately.
Whoa!
Hello there.
Loki! Mobius! You know me. Hey!
Although whenever it enters a room, it gets handheld.
Just a moment ago, you didn't know. No!
stand down.
Tell me you recognize me.
Stand
You
down.
know me? Just a moment ago, you didn't know me.
Stand down!
Destroy the wall.
Loki!
Oh.
That's who built this place. That's who stole your lives. That's who's coming back.
Ooh, I just got chills everywhere.
Come on, you keep me through a timeline.
Prune you next time.
But their warnings were real. Seems pretty straightforward to me.
What?
We need to know what happened at the end of time. Find Sylvie. She's the reason we're in this mess.
Holy shit. Corruption is deeper than we expected.
I just wanted time to think. Slow down, Loki. You wanted time to think, so let's think. It's okay.
This looks like it's shot on film.
It's beautiful.
More of him. They're coming. They're all coming. You need to kill the devil.
We'd eat ants.
It's the only way to stop him.
We fought Mobius, and she kicked me through a time door. Well, I'd ask who won, but it was a draw. You both kicked each other through time doors.
It's not about that, guys.
I wish I'd had more time. Don't do the coulda, woulda, shoulda. Just focus on what we know.
We gotta get a handle on this glitching thing, man.
That is what we know. War.
Whoa!
Damn.
See that?
All the cats?
Yeah.
Kangs.
He keeps it safe, but haven't you believed that? He built this place. No, how would I not remember that? Because he wiped your memories. I was in the past.
What do you mean in the past? Where in the past?
Here, the past TVA.
No, there is no past TVA.
Wow.
It's impossible.
It's possible, Mobius.
Timey-wimey.
Oh.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
What is it? How does it look?
How does it look?
I mean, how does it feel?
Great counter.
It's not that bad.
Really? I mean, it look. They call this minutes. What?
You can't trust her. She was there.
Oh.
With him.
God, their chemistry is so good.
Yeah, I'll swing you by repairs and advancement. Come on.
No doctors.
Where's that? We need to be back in there.
Oh, come on.
Mobius, I know you're trying to help me.
Whoa. Great reflection pan.
We need to address the fact that you keep disappearing.
I don't keep disappearing. We don't have time.
You just disappeared. I know. And I can't keep looking at it because it's horrible. I was lying. It's like you're being born or dying or both at the same time. It's freaking me out. How does it look?
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Time you were into the past, that's when I started all this.
All I know is I was in the past.
17-minute lunch break.
Wait, that's who you said had my memory wiped?
Yes, he who remains.
Is that what you're calling him, or that's his name? Pretty arrogant. It's like calling yourself last man standing.
Dude, this is shot incredible. It does not feel committee made.
And it matches the aesthetic of the TVA really well.
I have no memory of having my memory wiped.
Bars.
I love that line.
Bars.
I love that line.
It's been a while since I've been down here.
I mean, going all handheld really captures the disillusionment of it all.
The energy's so high of just dialogue.
Whereas, like, season 1, where you're in the fantasy.
Hey,
My man.
Good. We're in the right place.
The ultimate guy in the chair.
I want to introduce you to...
I'm Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. That's awesome.
I call him OB. That's like a nickname I have.
Wow, how long has it been? 400 years.
What?
You got off on the wrong floor, and I told you it was the wrong floor?
Wait, that's right. Yes.
You left immediately.
Well, I'm back.
It's a great trip down memory lane.
He was my last visitor.
Reunited.
And it feels so good.
Hey, how are the other guys doing?
What other guys?
What other guys?
The workload is really piled up if I take a break. So I just keep at it. Forever. No sleep.
For all time, always.
It's got that strange 70s sci-fi horror. There's that Terry Gilliam touch to it.
The set's beautiful.
So how's the team doing up there?
You know about the timekeepers and...
Oh, yeah.
That. Time slipping.
Wait, you know that?
Yeah.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
Can you fix that?
No. Impossible to time slip in the TVA.
I know, but we just saw it happen.
Yeah. I'm having trouble reconciling that.
I'm having trouble reconciling that.
He is the perfect person to add to this world.
Ouroboros.
Is he back 400 years?
Do I know you?
It's your future, my present. It's complicated. I've been pulled through different times.
This match frame circles is so...
I've been time slipping in the TVA.
It's impossible to time slip in the TVA.
But you just saw it happen.
Yeah. I'm having trouble reconciling
Reconciling that?
I know it looked like your friend was time slipping, but it must have been something else because I've never seen anything close to that happen before.
But you've seen it in the past.
Upload the memory.
He just got the memory.
No.
It's filling in now.
How did I not remember that?
Wait, is he talking to you in the past and you're just now remembering it?
Wow. That makes perfect sense.
Oh, this is so strange. I love it.
I guess time slipping is possible at the TVA.
So you remember. What did you tell him?
So linear
Oh,
time in
that's
this.
impossible.
Yes. Yes.
Great editing.
In the future.
I think I would remember that.
Yes, but
It's in the future.
It sure would be more convenient if we were having this conversation in the future and this were the past.
this is the... Never mind.
Someone in the time you want to end up in would need a temporal aura extractor.
Do you have one of those?
I do not.
Well, you've had 400 years to build one.
I got it.
Jesus.
Can you hold on to that until my friend Mobius drops by?
No. Wait. Yes? I actually do have an extractor here.
I love it so much.
One temporal aura extractor.
This is right there.
You need to get to the temporal loom so the extractor can pull Loki directly out of the time stream. But if you spend too long in it, that kind of temporal energy will peel the skin right off you. Not too bad compared to what Loki has to do.
Violently rip myself from every thread of time and space.
Whoa.
All at once.
All at once.
So the hope is that after you prune yourself, the extractor will pull you into the present.
But what's the present?
His origin
But
point?
how do we decide what the present is?
If it doesn't do that,
Have you heard about how if you fall into a black hole, you turn into spaghetti?
no.
Good. The less you know about that, the better.
Yep.
Is that what Wanda did at Mr. Fantastic?
Yes.
Everything everywhere all at once?
Damn it!
Hey, Loki's back.
What, you'd rather be atomically disassembled than never reassembled
Then to
again?
have your skin ripped off?
Yes, then at least you get to live.
It's a quality of life with no skin.
Oh. It's Morse code.
We're having power surges all through the TVA.
What did you say?
Uh-oh. He's not having fun anymore.
It's code.
Is it Morse code, yeah?
Timeline is branching now? I bet that's what's causing the power surges. And maybe you're time slipping.
Really? How?
Wow. These sets.
Temporal loom.
That's bad. You know, the temporal loom. It's in the TVA guidebook. There's one on every desk at the TVA. It's a detailed index of every mechanical class.
Good catch.
I can't get over how cinematic this is.
I wrote it myself.
It's these wide frames.
The most beautiful sets I've seen in a long time.
This has actual movie magic. Not just like CG.
They're walking in a place.
And like there's just looming dread.
And the details in the signs, the posters, the floor.
What I think is great is that the TVA has always had this 70s production design, especially with its equipment and stuff, and this time they're actually choosing to hone in on the visual language of those kind of films.
Yeah, it matches the aesthetics.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Cerebro.
I haven't seen 2001 A Space Odyssey, but that makes me think of what everyone's told me about 2001 A Space Odyssey.
I haven't seen it either.
Temporal loom is the heart of the TVA. It's where raw time is refined into physical timeline.
Wow.
Raw time.
It's not constructed to weave together so many new branches. So it's overloading.
How horrifying.
Danger looms beyond the temporal loom.
It looks like a disaster.
It is a disaster.
That feeling when you realize there's only like 10 minutes left in the episode.
I know. Don't remind me.
Don't end.
Now we need to close the blast doors to protect the TVA. Once those doors close, we won't be able to resync you. So it's now or never.
Dear God.
Ticking clock now.
But now isn't for a little bit. We still gotta get Mobius into position. But first, pull Loki from the time stream before I need to close the blast doors. Loki? Green means prune. If you're too late, you will be lost to time forever. And Mobius will lose all of his skin. Got about an hour. You've got about 5 minutes.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
When I use this thing, I might make it.
Looks like the Thing a little bit, especially with that classic warped face design.
I love that they're using the falling imagery, but it's falling through time instead of physical space. Like he does the throwback
hair whip,
yeah. But it's falling through
Signature
time.
hair whip.
Future, not past.
Way the future.
There's also a bit of that Christopher Nolan touch on how he would capture a sci-fi story.
The sound design, too, is really Nolan.
Nah, dude, I can hear too much of this.
That's true, there is dialogue.
Start aging away your suit. So get down the gangway, lock the temporal aura extractor into place, and hoof it back to the moment I tell you to. Your suit will age away, you will age away, and you'll get very old, and all your skin will get peeled away.
Everybody just keeps bringing it back to that.
Is this cracked?
You're good.
Okay. Ready to see some hooping like you've never seen before.
Okay.
I mean, you've seen it all, you know.
I love how like B-movie sci-fi tech it all feels.
Yeah, it's like
it's all so outdated and
like he's about
unreliable.
to dive to the bottom of the sea or something.
Whoa! Waves of time.
Wow.
What a horrifying scenario.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's my first chills moment. That is so cool.
Threads of time forming a rope.
Great race against the clock here.
Woof. Get your suit peeled off.
Oh.
Still time.
Just love how tangible and intense everything is.
This is episode 1. They're doing so much.
Yikes!
Oh boy. Oh boy. Ooh, no. Whoa.
No.
Green.
He doesn't have a time
Find a stick, boy.
Find a stick. It's Trinity. Answer it.
Need to close the blast doors now.
Give him more time. He can still make it.
Come on.
This does feel like Matrix.
Right?
Yeah. It's like about to press the EMP.
And then
And the phone, yeah.
in a hallway.
Move faster, Loki.
Yeah, come on, dog.
You know you're on a race against time right now. Is that
Is it
Sylvie?
you?
I'm gonna guess Sylvie.
5, 4,
Oh, Jesus.
3. 3.
Oh.
Not yet. Give him more time.
No. No, 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 no.
What's happening?
There is nothing you can do for him. He's lost to time.
Love how it looks like musculature under the first layer of the suit.
That was an alarming ass POV. Yes.
Come out.
Oh, no.
There you are.
Yes.
Oh no.
Dang. God. That stretch zoom. Damn. Wow.
Whoa!
Yes. Beautiful.
Oh, that was awesome.
We need to find Sylvie.
Yes, we do.
Actually, the pruning usually happens so fast, but that looked excruciating what he was going
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they going?
Everywhere.
All this for Sylvie?
I don't buy it.
through. No. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Justin Aaron.
Cheapers, man.
Brilliant.
Woo.
That was brilliant. Oh, there's new credits stuff.
Ooh. Hey, hey. Is that an old banana?
Black holes. I'm picking up nothing.
TVA soup. Isaac Bowman did great work.
Wowee.
Natalie Holt's music.
Killing it.
Yeah.
I thought the writing was good on this one, too. I didn't recognize the writer's name, but this suit, too, has to be a tribute to some classic sci-fi movie. I feel like the design looks familiar.
The cosmic stuff was straight like Starlin mixed with Kirby, but I didn't recognize the suit. It must be a movie thing, or maybe I just don't know that cosmic stuff. But.
There was a photo of them touching heads from earlier. Whoa. This looks like they took a page out of the American Horror Story credits.
Uh-oh.
Even the credits are so ominous.
Give me one of those. I love a
Were
notebook.
those kings fighting always there?
The show does that. They could have.
Yeah.
I think we would have noticed it, but I honestly they could have not shown us.
Yes.
Wait, is this where Ravonna is?
Oh,
But not in 82. What was it?
Oh, she's going to McDonald's? That was a McDonald's thing.
Whack arms.
How do I do this?
What would you like?
Not squirrel, not possum, not rats. And nothing with a face. Please.
You could have a life.
That could be me and me.
I want to try everything.
Oh my gosh, she's going to be fat as hell in 20 years.
Very quickly. She won't make it to 2023.
Damn.
That was brilliant, guys.
Was that the best episode 1?
I mean, it's the
up there with
first
WandaVision.
It's the first season 2 we've ever had
Of any Marvel property.
And yeah, episode 1, that was insanely great. Yeah, because the last episode of season 1 ended on a great, ominous, horrific vibe, and there were so many theories of what was happening when they saw the Kang statue and they didn't remember them. Like, did they rewrite time? Did Kang rewrite time? Is he in an alternate timeline?
Yeah.
And the explanation that they ultimately gave us, like, oh, it's genius. And they work it into the physical stakes at what's at hand, what they got to solve. Like, it's not just something that they explain away and then they resolve it. Because I saw like this one very little tiny nitpick. And it was something, but then there was one bigger criticism that I was actually having that I thought might have undone some of the goodwill of season 1 for me when I was seeing the trailers. Was like, oh man, you know, I loved the ending of season 1. It was so menacing, and then you're like, but it kind of undoes that whole like character arc and the journey that Loki and Mobius went through in that season.
Oh, if you don't remember each other.
Yeah.
But then they solve it.
And then they solve it.
And have a buddy.
But it doesn't feel like course correction. I'm like, no, that feels like that's maybe what the plan was the whole time.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It fits perfectly.
Because this got a new writer, remember? There was the original showrunner writer is not on season 2, so...
Waldron?
No. The woman who directed.
Oh, the director, Kate Herron.
Yeah. Sorry, there's no showrunners in Marvel. The Kate Herron is not on this, so I don't know. Because you're right, I was a little worried about the pivot, but this totally played.
It totally played perfectly, and I know we said somewhere during the reaction, but if you're listening to this on like Spotify or Apple, we just watched Loki season 2, episode 1, and we are reviewing it right now. And I was so impressed with the way it was shot. You know, Justin and Aaron, who did Moon Knight, who I thought they did great work in there, and it seems like they just kind of got their feet wet with that, and they were able to come over here. And one thing that I feel like with Marvel, the last thing I actually expected to talk about was specifically the way this is directed. Sure. And like the filmmaking behind it. It was the last thing I expected. Weirdly.
All of the production design, cinematography, and directing.
The editing, the music, it does feel like there's a distinct voice. That is one of the biggest criticisms that I feel like we often say with Marvel is you don't feel like when I was revisiting season 1 of Loki, I was hit with this nostalgic feeling of, man, I forgot how composed this was. I forgot just how it felt like Kate's voice was behind this. Mm-hmm. So hearing that they were switching directors made me go, okay, did they just get a hired hand so they could just kind of do the show they wanted to? That's not the impression I'm getting. Like what Justin and Aaron have done, I kind of liken it to when Doug Liman did Bourne Identity, and then they got Paul Greengrass for Bourne Supremacy.
Yeah.
Where, okay, now we're handheld. We're a little bit grittier. And it
or
really...
Alien to Aliens, how the action like accelerated, but it still felt like in a world.
Definitely, but it kind of adapts a little bit of Ridley Scott's Dread here, because it does have this 70s sci-fi horror touch laced throughout without losing its sense of wonder. I was enamored with this. I thought this was brilliant. Like, just talking about like the filmmaking right at hand. John, what did you think of filmmaking?
No, yeah, I'm absolutely I'm so happy right now because I'm a little blown away because of everything you just pointed out. And yeah, like this feels like it's crafted, like it's distinct, and like this is really able. I don't know. I'm almost at a loss for words to how to describe it. But yeah, it's like the first season, felt tangible and it had all these earmarks of quality filmmaking. But this, use of these long zooms and these, kind of frantic but very, composed, like tracking shots. And clearly you're like walking around with a steady cam. Like there's just so much legitimacy that lends to the sets, to the stakes, to the circumstances. And like throughout this, I made a remark about movie magic. And I feel like, a lot of Marvel movies don't give me that, or Marvel things are fun, they're dazzling, but they're not always giving me that sense of like, wow, I am beholding the possibilities of movie magic. And this had that, because it was like, it legitimizes all these sets and stuff like that. Then where there is CGI, like, it blends really nicely, but clearly they're really throwing down on all these designs and things. It has humor without feeling jokey. It's foreboding. It's thrilling and exciting. And you care about each beat of the characters' journeys as well. And yeah, I don't know. This was just so rich to me. This gave me kind of everything I was hoping for and so much more. And it also feels like we just immediately picked up from the end of season 1, and we're just going. Like, and it's funny that they had that back and forth with Quan's character about like, how long has it been? Because sitting down to this, I was like, God, it feels like Loki was a century ago. And then during the episode, I was like, I feel like I just watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
Or like we were just doing the experience of seeing it the first time just yesterday or something like that. So. I mean, I could go on forever, but yeah, I thought this was terrific, amazing.
Coy, what did you think about Obi?
I love obviously they cast perfectly, but I love especially in that scene how the time editing and time displacement and the sets were like full power, because they framed him in the center of a circle, and then not only did the circle slightly get fuller for the future and a little bit emptier for the past, but it wasn't obvious, and the fact that they had like match edited the circle behind Loki, so it was super disorienting and you felt like stuck out of time. Yeah. They made you feel like you were out of time while Loki was discovering what to do with his being out of time. Like that was genius. Justin and Aaron are buddies of mine, and I love their work so dearly. And I will totally admit there was a part of me that was so afraid that the world would be robbed of some of their more insane cinematic skill by them going to a major studio. Like, I legitimately obviously love Marvel, but there's a lot of directors that can make Marvel stuff, and they can like blend their style with the Marvel style, and that's great. I'm happy for them. But I was so worried that we wouldn't get more things like Spring, which is one of my favorite horror movies ever that they did years ago. And I was so like, oh, this is years of their lives. And then I liked a lot of Moon Knight, but I didn't love the ending. This was what I was hoping would happen when you hire directors like Justin and Aaron. Like where they let them paint with their paintbrushes, where you let them have, here's a blank check because we can afford it, but also make the thing you'd make, but in our universe. That's what comics are. To me, you give a writer you trust and an artist you trust the character, and you just say like, okay, we're not going to make coloring in the lines too detailed, but just don't do these things. But everything else, just go nuts.
Yeah.
And that way you can keep it in your universe, but it's also their book. That's why I like Tom King's Batman, because it feels like his, and that's why I like what Mitch Gerads does with his characters, because they feel like his. And this feels like Justin and Aaron were like, okay, we just can't kill Loki in the first episode, because anything else is fine. And it's their style, it's their world, it's that 70s horror, it's the music that feels original, it's the production design that feels like not just, like this feels like you can walk through this set. It doesn't feel like The Void or The Volume, whatever they call it. It doesn't feel like The Volume. That's what it feels like to me. But I love when things are tangible and real, and I love that two people that I really respect got to make something to scale that still feels like something they'd make not in this universe.
It feels like it has this combination where it feels storyboarded yet off the cuff at times. Like, oh, let's just watch the actors work, now let's shoot around them. There was such energy and vibrancy. Like it's literally about the mood of it is a race against time. And the destruction of time.
And they keep adding ticking clocks.
You could feel its reverency for the last season all over it, but yet completely doing its own thing here. Everyone's like the performances of obviously Tom Hiddleston. Great again. I want to.
Owen Wilson's thumbs up was the funniest thing to me. Like I couldn't hang.
I can't wait for him to get his jet ski.
It's coming.
Just getting their chemistry back, feeling like, oh, man, they haven't missed a step. Not one bit here have they missed a step. I am hoping though that in some ways they do retain some of the bit of what we love about Loki. instead of him just being like a TVA agent this time, who's on edge, you want a bit of that God of Mischief in some capacity.
Oh, I think that's definitely coming.
Even though he's had a complete character arc, I wanted to still have a bit of what we know about Loki. You know,
you want a little bit of his duplicitousness.
Yes, of course.
No, I think that's coming. I think what I'm really intrigued by is the Raphael Cassel footage we saw in the trailer had him as like an actor, like a theater actor. And I didn't realize he was going to be a TVA agent. And then we've also seen some stuff where there's like, so I'm curious what like Loki has to do to manipulate Rafa's character, or like how he's going to get around the TVA that are clearly going out and hunting Sylvie. That's where I think we're going to get some mischief in there.
Yeah, last season we didn't really we're going to the political bureaucracy a lot more here this time around. And before it was just kind of Ravonna saying shit.
Now there's a board.
And there's like a board. Like, okay, there's like a lot more people here than just Ravonna. It seemed like it would seem like she was answering to timekeepers, and then there was Ravonna, right? And last season, so we didn't really see much of like the political debates, but clearly there's a lot more cover up and
there's
conspiracy.
A legislative branch. She was judicial. Like there's other branches going on.
I mean, like Kang has created, or He Who Remains has created such a dichotomy for everyone, such a problem that does come into question. It literally was what Loki and Sylvie were arguing about is telling the truth better than
the lie that comforts everyone.
Yeah.
Can I say before all of the internet does, because we will hear this ad nauseum, this isn't Marvel's back, but it is to me. Hey, they can still do that magic, and they just need to like narrow it down. If we could prune some of the Phase 4 stuff that didn't work in the Holy Timeline, then like
shows.
Kang Dynasty, I think that's what Kang Dynasty is going to do.
Yeah.
I think Kang Dynasty is going to show that we're on disparate timelines. Not everything is canon, and then Marvel can just keep the stuff that worked. And I think this shows like they still got it.
Definitely, and I think with Kang, it's so weird because revisiting season 1. Wow, what a perfect setup for Kang and the multiverse consequences.
They shouldn't have touched it until this.
And then we saw what happened, and it felt like a lot of Loki season 1 ending was not really consequential to the films and shows that came following it.
That big moment, everybody's like, "That's the moment everything changes."
Yeah.
I'm like, "So when do we find out what changed?" And this feels like everything changed.
Yeah.
2 years later.
It picks, and it's like, all right, well, I'm in it, and Kang is back to feeling. It makes you forget about his Ant-Man appearance.
100%.
Which, like Jonathan Majors did a fine job as Kang in that film. But
he was in a different movie.
It was a different movie, and overall, he got killed by ants. Right?
Yeah.
So, and then here, like, this is the threatening guy that we were all worried about, and just of how there were clues about him laced throughout. And one thing I hope this show does is kind of give you a sense of the TVA society a bit more. It seemed like we got a hint of that in the opening action scene. Especially when you got all these different characters here. But then with Kang, I imagine that he's going to be connected, that Ravonna's true past is probably connected to Victor Timely, right? Mm-hmm. Because that was what they established in the end. We're going to see Victor Timely as established in Ant-Man and Quantumania. We're going to see Victor Timely, and I imagine that's where Ravonna's part of her history truly lies there as well. Because,
and I think,
because she left it last season. She said she was going to go look for him, essentially implying that she was going to go look for him. And it seemed like the message that Loki was playing was the thing that was left for him.
And I think some of those TVA are going to there. I think they're going to Ravonna. And I think that's where we're going to see Rafa as the actor.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes.
That's
a lot
my
more
theory.
sense.
Is that he's going and hunting her, so it's not just Sylvie they're going after; it's also Ravonna.
Yeah.
In the original timeline, because if they cut off her, then we don't find out all this about Kang, and it goes back to status quo.
So why are they going after Sylvie though, John? What are your theories?
They are.
You don't think they are?
Didn't they partly establish that, or at least that's what
Loki assumes.
That's
Loki assumes, but they
assume.
But the Irish people and the guy who
I think she's Scottish.
They Scottish or whatever. They said we have to go after Sylvie. We have to get Sylvie. They said it in the boardroom, and B-15 witnessed them say that.
But then B-15 said this seems excessive. I think it's not just Sylvie, or it's a mislead.
But what did they need to go after Sylvie?
But maybe they know more than the rest do. At least the woman from Game of Thrones seemed to know more. The woman from The Witcher seemed more earnestly
surprised by
this revelation, whereas the women from Game of Thrones seem to be like more aware, more in control, and trying to just not let that on so much. So I wonder if maybe she has got some kind of awareness of He Who Remains or the truth of the matter, and is trying to maintain and protect the lie that everybody lives under, or something. I guess would be because, you know, if she knows Sylvie killed him, then that would be, you know, the reason to prioritize her. But there's also just like the leftover circumstances from last time too, with them being on this manhunt anyway.
I wish the trailers didn't reveal that she works at McDonald's.
I know.
I was thinking that too.
I would have loved to have almost no Sylvie in the trailers, and then to have this little post-credit bit would have been really nice.
Well,
like,
it's weird. I personally only watched the one trailer,
Same.
so I don't really know anything about
I
what's
only have
supposed to
those two
happen
things in my head.
Yeah.
The actor scene and the Sylvie McDonald scene.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder too if the Rangers and stuff are going to start encountering variants of themselves who get to live, you know, or something, you know, as they're going around.
I can't get over the visuals.
Because they're all going in such numbers. Like, I don't know, maybe that's a possibility too.
Man, this was brilliant.
I can't get over the visuals of the cosmic time distortion, the time waves and stuff. That's gonna like stick with me. That's what the comics feel like. And that was so cool to see something that feels like a comic I've read, but like in a more tense 3D way.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. This is up there with my favorite first episode of anything.
This is special. This is one of the best episodes of the Loki show.
Yeah.
Confidently say that. Yeah, this is one of the absolute best episodes of the Loki show.
I'm so glad Justin and Aaron are on all of it. Like, I'm so glad it's their show, not like, you know, switching around directors. I'm sure other people can do great, but this gives me so much hope for the whole season.
Yeah, but and what I just really appreciate too is they are providing a uniqueness here that feels different and distinct from season one, and it's still, they still understand like turmoil, psychological turmoil, like where Moon Knight was obviously very character focused, which made more sense for that. And here you still get the emotionality of what everyone's experiencing. So there's still going to be character-based stuff, but it's more of about immediacy of what they're experiencing and the tension that they're going through. So I was really impressed with this. I was surprised by how. It's like I had a feeling it would be good, but I didn't think it would be that good.
I know, right?
I actively didn't want it to end, and I was gobsmacked.
Yeah.
Like I don't often get like I don't have words, and then I also don't want things to not end forever.
It feels vintage and throwback, but also new. You know,
like
the
first season.
It feels vintage, it feels now, and it feels future all at the same time.
Yeah,
time.
Well, and part of me, I'm curious too about what they're going to do about that past beat that we saw with the Kang statue, because it's clear Mobius has had his mind wiped a number of times. So I'm like, is there a recent previous iteration of the TVA that was like Lord Kang Central or something?
Yeah,
like that?
I think that's what it seemed to clearly establish.
Yeah,
at some point they didn't have to hide it. So and like why did he start hiding it?
And am I don't know, is Mobius going to find out like some kind of horrible complicitness that he's had to be a part of in the past that he's not aware of now?
I also thought there was a strange parallel too, to bring it back to Obi and He Who Remains. Like they're both there with these really important jobs about time displacement and whatnot.
And they're just kind of on their own.
They're isolated and wait for visitors to come see.
Years.
Yeah, he hasn't seen anyone in hundreds of years, and he seems fine too.
Yeah.
Oh, I want more.
Like he's almost like a supplement for Miss Minutes, possibly. I don't know. It's something. There's something really interesting about a mirroring effect with that.
See, that's the magic. Is I'm like, I have so many. You can draw theories out of this. There are so many curiosities, and they're all in different directions. There's the circumstances of the story, but there's the character qualities in that. And it's been a long time for me since I've like coming into Loki season 2 is like, I'm happy to be here. I loved the first season, so like this is a pretty easy bar to clear. Like it can be. If it's just okay, I would be honest about that. But I would be still pretty pleased to be here. And so it's been a long time since I've had that vibe coming in and then been so bowled over. Like, wow, this went far above and beyond any expectation I would have had. I'm happy enough to be back, but also I'm overjoyed that they like really pulled all the stops out.
It's like Guardians for me. I knew I'd love it. And then I was like, whoa, do I think? Is this my favorite of the three?
If you look at what's been beloved, like our feelings for this, I have a feeling people are going to love this.
Yeah.
Sure.
This Guardians director's vision.
Yes. And mostly isolated, like mostly to itself, not trying to start 500 spinoffs.
Yeah, but you also know it's connected at the same time without it like really reaching for that connection.
Like Loki season 1 and WandaVision, I think are the two most separate of the shows, and they did well. And here we are.
Yeah, this is something really. This felt very special to me, and it's when you get shit like this, of when you get something mediocre, of why a mediocre thing in Marvel stings even more.
Right.
Prune it capable.
Because you know what the potential is. And Phase 4, people dog on Phase 4, but let's not forget, it started off with WandaVision and Loki.
Yeah, WandaVision,
You know?
Loki, No Way Home, and Shang-Chi came out of that. It's just other stuff did too.
Yeah.
And Wakanda Forever came out of that, but then other stuff
and
did.
then it's connective tissue and the lack of consequence. Like, this feels like, the repercussions, the consequences of their actions, of the Loki's actions from the end of season 1.
And I think the benefit of this and Kang and everything else is time travel does mean you can clean that up. Like, I do think Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty mean, like, okay, guys, we hit listen, we read the message boards, we're so sorry, sweep, sweep, and like, this is totally a thing.
Yet I feel like the marketing for this, and maybe it has something to do with Jonathan Majors' personal life troubles.
It's been pretty quiet.
I feel like the marketing for this has not been as ramped up as it normally would be for Marvel.
I'm hoping,
but the word of mouth has got. I know the trailer did phenomenally well, but yet I still feel like the marketing feels a little quieter than usual.
Sure.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I'm really curious how it ramps up and what word of mouth is once it's out, because I do think this is exceptional, and I think that quality is going to make people. That's why I said the first thing, like, Marvel's back. Like, I do think it's going to be that kind of rush, and especially post Guardians. Now they're 2 for 2, and so I hope this leads to. And the next thing after this is going to be they're doing a whole day. I think for last we heard they're doing everything at once with Echo, and then the Captain America 5 is the first thing under Iger's new stuff. 4. Yeah, I skipped a whole Captain America. Captain America 4 is the first thing under Marvel's whole.
Scrap 4 entirely.
Yeah, we skipped 4. We're on to Sam Wilson's 5. But yeah, I think that Bob Iger's new vision and like Kevin Feige having time to readjust to everything that had to be changed with the pandemic and everything else. Like, remember Falcon Winter Soldier had to be like half reshot. Like, things had to really change with Phase 4. So I do have some faith in where we go from here.
Okay.
So I'm very hopeful.
Guys, what did you think about it? I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
A+ for me.
That is damn good television right there. The best Marvel movie since The Dark Knight is what Twitter will say.
Easily.
Truth.
Leave your thoughts down below. Thank you to all who have been getting some RR apparel. It means the world. And we will catch you all very, very soon. Stay tuned for next week and whatever else gets uploaded on this channel. See you guys.